Hello and welcome everyone. This practice today is going to be all about getting grounded, being grounded, and really just being rooted and connected in our physical experience. So it is geared toward all levels, probably more toward beginner because I'm not sure where everyone is and if you're new to yoga or not, but it is a practice that is beneficial to everyone. And also feel free to move into your poses to whatever extent or level that you're at, and always do what feels best for you and your body. Anything that, so your body trumps anything that I say. Okay. So if something doesn't feel good to you, don't do it. Do what feels good to you. It's all by invitation only. Okay. So we're going to start with taking 3 deep cleansing breaths, breathing in through the nose. Feel free to close your eyes if that feels good. Exhale with a sigh through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose. Exhale with a sigh. Releasing all stress, tension. Breathing in through the nose. And exhale with a sigh. Feel free to allow your eyes to remain closed for a moment, and we're going to drop into a guided meditation to start. So perhaps you have your hands on your thighs or on your knees. We're just going to tune into our body. We're going to drop out of our mind for a little while, and we're just going to drop into our body. So just becoming aware of any sensation that you might be feeling in your body. Noticing any tightness, any constriction. And just begin to breathe in to those spaces that might feel tight or constricted or heavy. Or perhaps you feel good this morning and feel open and relaxed. Either way, let's just take some slow, deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Noticing your lower body, bringing awareness to your lower body, to your hips, to your glutes, to your thighs, your lower legs, and your feet. As you continue to breathe, use slow, deep breath. Perhaps gently rubbing your hands along your thighs. We're just connecting to our body, connecting to this lower part especially. Again, we get so in our mind and we forget about our body sometimes, or we just get disconnected from it. We really want to connect. So we want to especially connect to the lower part of our body because this is what can keep us grounded and rooted. So bringing all of our awareness down, all the way down to the feet. And perhaps imagine that you're dropping roots from your lower body into the earth. Dropping these roots far and wide and deep into the earth to anchor you, to ground you, to keep you sturdy and stable in your physical body. And we'll just take a couple of breaths here, breathing in this earth energy up through these roots, all the way up to the top of your head with each inhalation. And then with each exhalation, imagine that this earth energy is like a magnet And it's pulling out all of the stressful energy, the negative energy, the heavy energy, and it's pulling it right back down into the earth as you exhale. Going through that cycle a few times at your own pace. Allowing this earth energy to help you to feel sturdy and stable in your body. And as you move through those breath cycles, I'm going to offer an affirmation for this practice. I love working with affirmations. So the affirmation for this practice is, I am safe in my body. Feel free to mentally repeat that or even out loud. You're in a space where you can speak that out loud even better. I am safe in my body. And if we were to name this chakra, if you're familiar with chakras, they're energy centers in the body. If we were to name which chakra we are working with mostly today, it would be the root chakra, which is all about safety and feeling safe in your body, in the world. So taking one last deep breath all the way in, exhaling through the mouth, and allowing your eyes to open gently, allowing yourself to come back into your space, feeling centered, rooted, grounded, and ready for the rest of this practice. So we're going to start, so I do a lot of breath work, and I love to tie in a lot of pranayama or breath work techniques into yoga practice. So we're going to start the movement with a breath technique. And first I'll go through the movement. So we're going to have our hands on our knees, and it's like a seated cat and cow. So we're going to move back into cat, curving the spine as you roll back. And then moving forward into cow, arching the back and bringing the face up towards the sky. Of course, to whatever extent feels good for you. And we're just going to move back and forth through that for a few times, waking up the spine, waking up the shoulders and the body. And we're going to add the breath technique to this. And the breath technique is in and out through the nose. So as you move forward, allow yourself to, whichever feels comfortable. Some people like to breathe in moving forward or out moving forward, whatever feels comfortable. But with each breath, we're going to make the movement. So breathe in with a movement and breathe out through the nose with the movement. At whatever pace feels good for you. We're doing it kind of slow to start. Getting a nice stretch in the back as we move forward and backwards. And then coming back to center. And we're going to do that movement again, but we're going to do it a little faster. And we're going to breathe again, in through the nose, out through the nose. And it's not quite as exaggerated movements because it's faster, so it's going to be like this. So feel free to start. And we're going to do actually 3 sets of 7. So you can follow my lead or you can do it on your own. I'm going to start. And then we're going to pause. We're going to take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. This is a very invigorating, energizing breath. So we're going to go 7 counts of that again at a faster pace if that feels good for you. And then pause, breathe in fully through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. If you feel dizzy, just slow it way down. Okay, this is your practice. So we're going to do one last set of 7 at a faster pace if that feels good, starting now. Pause. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Beautiful. That's a really invigorating, kind of intense breath, which is why we only do 7 and 3 sets of that. I'm a pretty advanced breathwork facilitator, and that still even makes me a little, whoa, what's happening here? So make sure you're listening to your body, because we'll be doing another breathwork technique in the middle of this. So now we're just going to begin moving into our neck and shoulder area, getting some stretches there and some tension release. So we're going to take our left ear to our left shoulder and just allow this nice stretch along the right side of your neck. And if it feels comfortable, take your right hand and point it down towards the floor, getting an even deeper stretch if that feels good. Of course, not to the point of pain. So we want a nice deep stretch, but not painful. We carry a lot of tension in our neck and our shoulders, actually our whole body. So we're going to hit several of those areas. Coming back to center. Again, we're not in a hurry. This is about slowing down today. We're always going so fast. This is an opportunity to just drop into presence, into slowness, into being with your body. Taking our right ear to the right shoulder. Perhaps taking that left hand out towards the floor, pointing towards the floor, getting a bigger stretch to the left side of the neck. Taking a breath here. Coming back to center. We're going to take our chin to our chest and stretch the back of our neck. Oh, that's tight for me. I don't know if it is for you guys, but just take a breath and breathe into that tightness. Taking our head up to center and then back with our face lifted toward the sky, stretching the front of our neck as we take a breath. Coming back to center. Now we're going to do a few neck rolls. So just gently rolling your neck into one direction, getting a nice stretch all the way around. Releasing tension in those places where it feels tight. Remembering to breathe. And then going back in the other direction. Coming back to center. And now we're going to put our hands to the floor beside us. Again, just getting really grounded. A lot of these poses today are going to be close to the ground because, again, we want to get grounded and present and rooted. So we're going to take our hands up all the way up above us as we breathe in. And then exhale, moving those hands back down to the ground. Moving through that a couple times, waking up the shoulders. And exhale. Back up again. And down once more to the ground. Pausing here for a second. Again, feeling the ground. Taking a breath. Slowing down, not being in a hurry. And this time we're going to breathe in and up again, but when we breathe up, we're going to take the right hand back behind us and the left hand in front as we twist to the right. And then we're going to breathe and come back up to the center and then back to the other side. Left hand behind you, right hand in front, twisting to the left. Coming back up to center as you breathe. And we're going to move through this a few times at your pace. And perhaps adding in that affirmation with your movement. I am safe in my body. I am safe in my body. Again, we're just waking up the shoulders, and this time pause at the top. And now we're going to take our right hand down behind us and place it on the ground behind us, leaning back a little bit into that and stretching the left hand back behind you. Bending that right arm if you need to. We're just getting a nice stretch here with a slight twist. And then bringing that right arm back up to the top. And then stretching the left hand down to the ground behind you as you lean back, bending that left elbow, and then stretching the right arm behind you slightly with a twist. And then back up to the top. And then on the next exhale, we're going to take both hands down behind us. And I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me. And we're just going to lean back into that for a moment, getting a nice chest opener. We're opening the chest, stretching the shoulders, leaning back as far as feels comfortable, again, for a nice stretch, but no pain. And we're just going to kind of straighten the elbows and come up a little bit. And then bend the elbows and move back down into that deeper position. And we're just going to move through this a few times with our breath. Last one of those. And when you come up to the top, we're going to take our feet out in front of us. And we're going to do some seated folds here. So we're in an L shape. And again, because we're getting really grounded here, we're going to put our hands on our thighs. And we're going to rub our hands down our thighs, down to our feet as we fold forward. And if you need to bend your knees, feel free to bend your knees. Stay here for just a moment. Take a breath. Getting a nice lower back stretch. If this feels, just go as far as feels good for you. And then inhale, coming up, sliding your hands up your legs again, connecting with the lower body, feeling the lower body. And exhale, going down again into a fold. Getting a nice stretch, taking a breath here. And moving back up as you inhale. We can take our hands to the sides and kind of for support, and we're going to work with our feet for a moment. Again, the root chakra is all about the root down. It includes the feet, the legs, the thighs, the hips, and we neglect our feet a lot. So we're going to do some feet flexing and extending. Flexing your feet forward, activating the calf, pointing your toes down, and just moving through that a few times as you breathe. Perhaps giving thanks to our feet for carrying us through life. And next, we're going to do some foot circles, ankle circles. So we're just going to roll our ankles around in one direction, getting some range of motion there. Waking up the ankles, the feet, the calves. And then we're going to move in the other direction, same thing. Waking up the feet. And then coming back, sitting back up into an L position. We're actually going to move into, we're going to roll over to our side, to your right side. And we're going to come down on our elbow and place your head in your right hand. Your legs are going to be straight out, but at an angle, like a 45-degree angle, so that you're not like going to fall over. You can use your left hand to brace yourself here. We're just going to do some leg lifts and continue to wake up our hips. So we're just going to do some simple leg lifts to whatever height feels good for you. Breathing in with one movement and out with the other. Up the hips. I can feel this one. We'll do one more of these. Actually, pause at the top. So pause at the top. We're just going to do a couple of foot flexes here. And then bringing that leg back down as you exhale. And now we're going to bend the knee. And we're going to do this similar movement, but with our knees bent, so it activates another part of the glute and the hips. So we're going to move through this a few times with your breath. Again, not too fast. I always have to remind myself to slow down because I'm a fast mover. I have fast energy, lots of energy. So it's super important for me to just slow down. Okay, and on that, when you come to a close, we're going to pause on that. Now we're just going to lay down kind of on our side and putting both our hands out in front of us, like, I guess like an alligator bill or a crocodile bill, just resting your head down. And with our inhale, we're going to open up and twist that to the back as far as you can go. I have a glass behind me, so it's hard for me to twist all the way, but just as far as you feel comfortable, twisting your head back that way. And exhale as you come down. Moving through that a few times. Continuing to open the chest and the shoulders and the spine as we twist it. One last cycle of that. And when you come down, take a breath here. And then we're going to move to our other side. So if you're lying down, you could just roll over to your left side. I'm going to have to move completely over so that you can see me, or you can do the same, whatever works for you so that you can still see me. Bring our head into our hand. Legs straight, but at a 45-degree angle. Brace yourself with your right hand on the ground. Starting those leg lifts with your breath. Do two more of those, but on the last one, we're going to pause at the top. So pause at the top, and we're going to do those foot flex and extensions here. A few times. Getting a nice stretch in the foot, the calves, and then bringing that down as you exhale. And we're going to fold the knees. Do that same movement with the knees bent. Continuing to breathe. Deep breathing is so powerful. I'm actually at the part of my dissertation where I'm writing about breath work and the research and literature on breath work and how healing it is, and it is incredible. So we'll do one more of these, and when you come down, we're going to pause for a second, just take a breath here. Most of us do not take deep breaths. We are bracing ourselves all day. We're shallow breathing and we're holding our breath. So if you take anything from this practice, this class today, it's to take deep breaths. Okay. So we're going to come down onto our side here with our arms out in front. And we're going to move through that same movement of opening as we inhale. Twisting behind us, twisting your head back if you can do that for as far as you can go, and then closing as we exhale. Just moving slowly through that movement a few times at your own pace. Let yourself do one more of those, and then we'll meet back in stillness on our side. Taking a pause, taking a breath. And now we're going to come back up into a seated position. And so one of my favorite yoga teachers does this thing that she calls an intermission in between her in her practices in the middle. And I love it so much. I had never seen or experienced that before. And I was like, I am going to do that. So this is our intermission, which is a little break in between the practice. And we can do all kinds of things here. One of the things I would love to do and invite you to do with me is a breathwork technique called the triactive breath. Okay, so let me explain how it works. It's triactive because it's 3 parts, but it's 2 inhales and 1 exhale. And we're just using the mouth. So it's in twice through the mouth and out once through the mouth. So we can just do a practice run of that. And I don't think you can hear my breathing because my computer blocks out the breath. Unfortunately, I want people to hear that, but I guess most people don't want people to hear them breathing. But being a breathwork facilitator, I need people to hear me. But anyway, so in twice through the mouth and out once through the mouth. The other piece of this is that actually when we breathe in the first time, we're breathing into the belly. So it's a breath into the belly. The second one's a breath into the chest. And then exhale. So let's practice that for a second. In through the belly, into the chest, exhale. And you can do a little movement with it too, like. And another thing is we want to put one hand, perhaps your left hand on your belly, right hand on your chest. And now feel yourself go through that breath for a moment. Feeling your belly rise, your chest rise, and then exhale. And I'm going to start this. I'll go a little bit of a faster pace, but actually we're going to go slow because this can be a really activating breath. Meaning it can bring up a lot of stuff. It can bring up emotions. It can bring up stuck energy. And the point is to detox the body and to release the body of any stuck energy, emotions, anything that we're carrying. And the intention is to, with our exhale, breathing out any stuck energy, breathing out any stress, any tension, any worry, any pain. And then if you feel overwhelmed, so we'll be getting a lot more oxygen than we normally do because, again, most of us hold our breath or take shallow breaths. So it can create a little bit of dizziness or lightheadedness. So just if that happens, let yourself slow it way down. Okay. You can just slow it way down to your pace. Don't do anything that feels too scary or too intense or too uncomfortable for you. We're going to do this for 2 minutes. And it seems like not a long time, but when you're doing this breath, it's like, is this ever going to end? So I just invite you to be open to the experience for anything that comes up, anything that wants to be released. It's a detox. Just allow it and let yourself be with it without judgment. So we're going to start the breath now. Breathing out any stress, tension, tightness, worry. Detoxifying the cells as you breathe in new oxygen, new air, new energy into your body. In, out, into the belly, into the chest, out through the mouth. You're doing amazing. Again, continuing at your own pace, closing your eyes if that feels good for you. We're about halfway. We have approximately 1 minute left. Sinking deeper into your body, into your experience, into any sensations that may be coming up for you. Allowing yourself to be with them with no judgment. About 30 seconds left. If you're dizzy, let yourself slow it way, way down. This is your practice, your body. Trust yourself. Trust your breath. Remembering I am safe in my body. Last one. So on your exhale, next we're going to pause and we're going to take a deep breath in through the nose. And a big exhale through the mouth, letting everything go. Just remaining here for just a moment, perhaps with your eyes closed, perhaps with your hands on your thighs. And just allow yourself to feel into your body, into any sensations. Again, all kinds of things can arise here. People can feel grief or sadness or a release of overwhelm, or sometimes people feel joy or bliss or happiness, or all of those things at once. Just letting everything settle, letting yourself come back into the ground, into the body, into your roots, into your safety. When you're ready, opening your eyes. I love that breath pattern so much. It's so healing. Sometimes in sessions, we do it for longer and so much can be released through that. It's an incredible breath practice, but we have to start slow because it can be really intense. Okay, so now we're going to move into the second half of our practice. We're going to come into table. Making sure you're feeling like you're back again, taking a moment if you need to. Again, that can be an intense breath technique. So in table, we want to have our hands spread, fingers spread wide, and just really pressed into the floor. Again, feeling really grounded and connected to the earth. And for your feet, maybe even tap your feet for a moment against the floor, because we want to have our feet connected to the earth, connected to the ground, feeling your shins on the ground. And we're going to move into cat and cow. So you may already know this. If you do, just allow yourself to move in and out of that. So cat is with your back curved upward. Cow is moving down into an arched back with your face moving up towards the sky or in the front of you. As you breathe, moving with your breath. If you feel like your body needs to move in any other way, again, always listen to your body first. Your body is your authority. Like your authority is the highest authority. Moving in and out of that a couple more times. And then pausing in table, coming to a neutral spine. And we're going to sit back to the right. So we're going to sit our hips back to the right and get a nice stretch in the right glutes. And then we're going to walk our hands over to the left, getting a right side body stretch here. Pausing and taking a breath. I always love this. It feels so good to get this side body stretch. And then moving back into center and back up to a neutral spine, into table. Now we're going to sit back to the left, getting a stretch on the left glute, walking our hands over to the right, getting a left side body stretch. Taking a deep breath in. And coming back to center and coming back up into table. Now we're going to move back into child's pose. So your feet are together, your knees are apart. And we're just going to slide back into child's pose with our hands out in front. Forehead to the ground if that is available to you. Taking a breath here. This is a very grounding pose. And so as you continue to be here and take a couple breaths, I'll tell a quick little story. There's this meme, you may have seen it. It's this woman doing child's pose in the middle of a grocery store or a CVS or something. And the caption says, "My yoga teacher said I could take child's pose anytime I feel like it or when I feel overwhelmed." I love that. I think it's hilarious. I think we should do more of that. We're coming back up into table. And now we're going to move forward into a baby cobra. So actually we're going to move forward and we're going to lower ourselves down onto the ground. So we're going to have our hands out beside, forearms on the ground. We're going to lift up into, actually do a half cobra first, a baby cobra. And then we're going to move up, if it is available, up into a full cobra. And then we're just going to move in and out of this a few times. So down all the way to the ground, even forehead to the ground. Again, this is all about grounding. Then back up into a baby cobra. And if this feels good to stay here, do that. If you want to extend your arms out into a full cobra and your head up to the sky, allow yourself to do that. We'll go down once more, all the way down, into the ground. Coming up once more into half cobra or full cobra. And we're going to do a child's pose cobra combo. So what we're going to do is move back into child's pose here. And we're just going to move in and out of that and into this cobra. Allow your feet to open as you move into cobra. We don't want to try to keep those together. Let them move naturally and just keep moving back and forth with your breath. Perhaps exhale as you move back in child's pose. And we'll do one more of those, and then we're going to meet in downward facing dog. So downward facing dog, you may be familiar already. It's a very popular yoga dance, yoga pose. It's an upside down V, and we're just going to kind of stretch our calves here. We call this walking the dog, stretching the calves. And then we're going to lift the right leg to whatever height feels good for you. And we're just going to raise and lower this leg a few times, squeezing the glute at the top. Activating the glute, the hips. Then we're going to take that right leg and we're going to lean it forward to the ground, shin to the ground, releasing the back foot to have the foot flat on the ground. We're going to bring our forearms down to the ground if that feels comfortable for you. And just resting here for a moment. This is similar to a pigeon. Taking a breath here. Getting that nice glute stretch. And then coming back up into cobra arms. And then we're going to put our foot back down to anchor ourselves and lift and come back into downward facing dog. We're going to do this on the left side. So we're going to do a few leg lifts on this side, squeezing the glutes at the top. Breathing with each movement. And next time your foot hits the ground, we're going to take that left leg forward, placing your left shin and knee on the ground, releasing the back foot, keeping the foot flat, coming down onto your forearms, taking a breath here, forehead to ground if that's available. Straightening the arms back up into cobra arms. And then putting the foot back down to help lift yourself up and then pulling your leg back into downward facing dog. And this time we're going to walk our feet towards our hands. And we're just going to stay in this forward fold for a moment. Feel free to have your legs bent if you need to. We're going into ragdoll. So that's where you're gripping your elbows and just kind of leaning here. And perhaps like doing a little sway. We're getting a low back stretch and the stretch in the back of the legs. And then we're going to put our hands on our feet. And we're going to rub our hands all the way up the front of our body. Again, we're connecting with our body as we roll our spine up, vertebrae by vertebrae, really slowly, all the way up. And then we're going to roll our shoulders back. I'm going to turn this way so you guys can see me. We're going to bring our arms up as we breathe up, breathing up into Tadasana. And we're going to do some forward folds. So diving down into a forward fold. Coming back up, raising your arms all the way up into standing with your arms above as you inhale. Down once more. Bring all the way back up. And this time we're going to spread our feet out wide. And we're going to do another fold with our legs wide. So we're going to swan dive down into this wide-legged forward fold. And just pause here for a moment. Getting that nice stretch in the back of the legs. Putting your hands on the ground in front of you. We're going to walk the hands to the right, over to the right foot. If you need to bend that knee, feel free to do that. Just feeling a nice stretch, but not painful. Walking the hands back to center. Then to the left. Taking a breath here as you stretch. Walking the hands back to center. And we're going to, you can heel toe your feet together a little bit, maybe hips distance apart. And we're going to squat into a squat pose. And we're going to have our hands in front of us. And if you have crow in your practice, feel free to move into that. But what we're going to do is we're going to kind of rock forward and place our elbows in our knees and just kind of stretch our knees, our hips open as you lean forward. Getting another really good hip stretch here. This feels really good to me. And then we're going to move back as we inhale. And then move forward, exhale. In and out of that a few times, getting that nice stretch in the hips, moving into crow if that is in your practice. Or any other position that feels good for you. And coming back up into, if you can, bring your hands to prayer here for a moment. I like to just take a moment here to give gratitude for our bodies, for all that they do, for all that they carry, for all that they do to really serve us in this life. So just taking a breath here of gratitude for your body. And then placing your hands back on the ground in front of you and raising your hips and buttocks up back to a forward fold. And then we're just going to sweep our arms ahead as we breathe up ahead as we breathe in. And we're going to move into goddess pose for a moment. So what that is just moving down, bending your knees. You're in a wide-legged fold with your feet at a 45-degree angle. Hands are in goalpost position. And we're just going to move in and out of this a few times. With our breath. And with our affirmation. I am safe in my body. I'm safe in my body. And when you come down this next time, let's pause here and just really open the chest, almost like you're trying to touch your scapulas together behind you. And just do a couple of close and open positions here. If your legs get tired, you can always come back up into straight legs. I'm safe in my body. I'm safe within myself. I am safe in the world. And then coming back up, hands above, legs straight. Bringing your arms down into prayer. Taking a moment to just shake out everything. I know we're getting close on our time. I actually have another call on the hour. So I originally planned for 45 minutes, but I'm going just a little bit over because I have a few more minutes. And as Luann said, she's going to stay in the room so you guys can stay in Savasana. So we're going to move down onto the mat. into Savasana. Just lying down, taking a breath, palms facing up, feet relaxed out to the sides. We're going to do one last deep breath together, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Just allow yourself to lie here, to be still, to be quiet, and to just be with yourself for the next little while. This might be the only moment of the day where you get to just be still and quiet. So really soak it in. Before we go too deep in that, I would like to just say I'm going to slip out soon, but thank you all for being here and joining me. And it's been such an honor and such a pleasure. And I hope you'll join me tomorrow morning. So just allow yourself to rest, breathe, and just be.